What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. This is the car shipping business channel. My name is Jay. Mic check 1 2 3. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a few minutes, I'm going to give the welcome lineup. You're going to know what to expect. If you're watching on demand, you'll be able to skip ahead. You'll see below this video in the description, there are time codes you can click on, jump ahead to the parts that matter to you most. Please do leave a comment. Remember to like, share, tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI. So in January 2020, we did this like automotive predictions show. Not a good idea. We're not going to do that again tonight. So here's what I want to know. What did you see in 2021 that you want to see more of in 2022? I'm asking you. I'm asking carriers, dealers, auction reps, service providers, family members, live and on demand. What did you see in 2021 that you want to see more of in 2022? And to add much needed industry perspective, tonight's featured guest lineup includes Joe Bercari of Midwestern Car Carriers. We've got Tim Scoutelas, Max Digital. We have Bryanna Cox of Asset Resolutions, Paul Machin with Black Book, and of course, the man, the myth, Thompson. So please join the live chat, share your thoughts, ask your questions, grow your business, because it's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so very much for joining us on a Tuesday night, 1 hour earlier. Who thought? I mean, we did it. We actually made it in here. We're 1 hour earlier than normal. We're going to keep it that way, so thank you so much. You know, if it's your first time here or your 100th time here, please feel welcome. Auto Transport Intel is for everyone. Dealers, carriers, brokers, dispatchers, everybody. Family members, if you're old school or new school, thank you so much. Please do say hello in the live chat. Let us know what you're looking for. Maybe you were in the comments on YouTube and now you're here. Maybe you were somewhere else, but you were lost and now you're found. Thank you so much for finding Auto Transport Intel. At the quarter hour, we're going to go into industry news. That's social media news, actual news, front of the store, back of the store, what's being talked about, shortages, predictions, statistics. So at the 45-minute mark, we're going to add Thompson. And Ty is going to help me introduce. We're going to have some mini interview features. First, we're going to talk to Joe Bercari at Midwestern Car Carriers, friend of the show. Tim Scoutelas, Max Digital, friend of the show. Bryanna Cox, Asset Resolutions, a new friend of the show. She's been on a few times, but we've seen more of her lately. We're excited to have her back. And then last but not least, Paul Machin, Black Book, friend of the show. So that's the thing, is it's kind of, that's how we're going to kick off the year. is, yeah, we're going to talk about 2022, but I'm real excited to have on some solid friends of Auto Transport Intel here to help me talk about the perspectives: new cars, used cars, salvage, auto auctions, dealerships, carriers, dealers, brokers, etc. Everybody is welcome at Auto Transport Intel. You know that. So do me a favor. After you leave a like, thank you so much for doing that. Mic check 1, 2, 3. We're okay? We're okay. All right. All right. We're looking good. Yeah, you can click, share, click, copy, grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, send it to a friend. Say, you know, they're an hour earlier now over here. You ain't gonna have to stay up half the night to watch Auto Transport Intel. And thank you so much for helping us get the word out. Do me a favor. If you're lost in auto transport, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider. We're getting signups all the time. Really, the big error is we're getting lots of ATI insider signups. We're getting more comments, getting more random emails. Here, go ahead, send in the news. You know, I like to say this. I'm going to put this in the live chat. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. You'll see it in the live chat. And what we're going to do right after this, we're going to go into the live chat. We're going to say hello, so stick around. We'll be right back.
The ACV Transportation team is always looking to expand our network to safe and reliable carriers. As an ACV carrier, there are many perks that allow us to become one of the fastest growing carrier partners in the nation. ACV carriers have access to our job board with thousands of new jobs listed every day. You do not need to pay for access, and every job listed is exclusive to our carrier partners. Interested in a job? While you stage a job on the job board, no other carriers have visibility to that job for 15 minutes, giving you time to make the best decisions for your business. Get paid within 1 to 2 business days. Our jobs are exclusively dealer to dealer, which means no more walking in large auction lots to find the vehicle you're looking for. Be one of the thousands of carriers who grew their business in partnership with ACV.
Dealer, transportation, peace of mind, carriers pick up, deliver, and get paid on time. Join the nationwide network at acvauctions.com/ATI. Sign up with Carrier by ACV Transportation. Links in the live chat. You see them right there. Let's do this. Let's go back to the top of the live chat. Let's say hello. And, oh, look, Kimberly. Kimberly got in here first. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. Let us know if it's your first time. Feel free to share your company info. You can do that. Please feel free to post anything you want in the live chat. Did he just... I just said that. Live. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. There's your rocket. What's up, Ty? And then Vistaga is... Or is it? Or is it? Interesting question. Well, in some ways it's more, if that's what you mean. You can't mean less. You can't be serious. Super Dispatch, hey there, ATI gang. Ben at Super Dispatch here. We all made it to the future safely, I see. What's up, Ben? Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. Yeah, we did. We lost Betty White. And we lost her together. Like everybody knows. That's what's so interesting about the news now. It's like, it's instantaneous. Did you get it on social media? Did you see it on national news? Who was actually watching TV when you heard it, right? Interesting, right? So yeah, we lost Betty White and somebody else, right? Time moves too fast. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics. What's going on? Randy Wills is here. Wow, what's up, Randy? You know, Randy is at. Let's give Randy. Let's see here. There we go. An applause for Randy. Can I get an applause for Randy? Thank you so much for showing up, Randy. That's so cool. Randy is with Midwestern Car Carriers. Wow, look at that. And Ty is first Super Chat cowbell of the new year. Thank you, Ty. ATI to the moon and back. Are we coming back? We going to Mars? What are we going to do? Thank you, Ty, so much. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for getting the Super Chat going and helping support the channel, being a part of the channel, such a big part of the channel. And, you know, hey, listen, If you're talking to Ty, you're talking to Jay. If you're talking to Jay, you're talking to Ty. So, yeah, thank you, buddy. That's so cool. Let's see here. Who else? Oh, Joe is here. Joe's on tonight. That's awesome. Thank you, Joe. John Cochran, LAI Auto Transport. What's going on, John? Where are you at? You loaded? Are you you packing up the truck? You hitting the road? What is it? It's Tuesday. I-95. Did you see I-95's a mess? Oh my gosh. Who's got an I-95 story? Put it in the live chat. I mean, already, right? Although we've had a pretty good year so far, right? I mean, that was last year. Oh, okay. Mark is here. What's up, Mark? Pro ABD is happening, dude. Dude. So, right? I mean, right? Have you seen all the, like, negative J-Tracker stuff? It's in the news again. Oh, my gosh. So interesting. So, Happy New Year to you, Mark. Yep. We got, that's it. I think that's kind of the live chat. We'll wrap up the live chat here in a couple minutes. We've got plenty of show. There's lots of interesting news. We've got comments to share. Tesla, in the second half of the news, we got some Tesla news, and different kind of hitting upon the different aspects of the industry. The dealers, the OEMs, the auctions, EV. Not so much chip shortage like everybody knows. If everybody knows, then it drops in the news. It should. There's what do we got? A mind meld, global consciousness. By the way, 3, 2, 1, mic check. I saw that in there. I don't know who sent over the 1, 2, 3 chicken. Silverman says happy and prosperous year. Hey, what's up, John? Thank you, buddy. John at LAI Auto Transport is ringing the super chat cowbell. Really do appreciate your support, your input, your contribution. Headed to California. Something told me you were on the road. And I'm like Karnak. I'm picturing, let's see, vans and pickups. I'm going to go with vans and pickups for 100. And that's, let us know. Where are you traveling? What's your load? Or, hey, how about what's your favorite auto transport intel show? Is it Tuesday Nights Live? Are you a DOT compliance kind of guy? Are you a dispatching live kind of gal? Or is Cars on the Move your jam? A little bit of a plug, but also I'm curious. Actually, I don't know if you've seen this, but the views in the past few months, the views for dispatching live are now rivaling Tuesday Nights Live. So, yeah, frustrations from my past are popular. Good to know. Anything else? Before we go, we're going to go on to industry news. Okay, that's it. I'm shutting the super chat gate. Thank you so very much. And now, I mean, the gate's always, it's always open. But we're going to move on to the next portion of the show because I know you're chomping at the bit. I am too. We got to hit the 7:15 mark. So do me a favor. Right after this, we're going to go into industry news. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
You need an auto shipping quote and broker software you can trust. Provide instant access. Provide instant accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter by Superflow Systems and move with Pro ABD CRM. Provide superflowsystems.com. You'd think by now I would just know it. And I'd have to read off my little cards here, but I saw something that got my attention. I apologize for that. And I almost grabbed the sticks and went take two. I decided against that as well. But I think everything is okay. And by the way, ask and ye shall receive. Look at this. Here we go, John. John sent in some photos, and here we go. So what is this? This is what John is headed to California. This is his load. You can make the news. There it is, right there. I mean, this is like real time. What is this? I'm guessing this is earlier today, John. Go ahead and let us know in the live chat. How's that load treating you? This is 2022 Viewpoint. Thank you so much. By the way, the links for Superflow Systems are right there in the live chat. I just want to mention, like right before the show, Michael, this is kind of cool. Michael, who was on the show a few weeks ago, he wanted a better option for, when the rug was being pulled out from under him for his broker software. Really needed somewhere to go, and put the trust in Auto Transport Intel to make a recommendation. Send him over to Mark. He's in touch, like as of right now, and it's that simple. If you need help, you got Transport Auto Quoter. If you need help making quotes in the middle of the night, if you need help managing your leads. By the way, you know what? This whole, like, when we say broker, I realized this earlier today. In fact, Mark, I realized it earlier today when I was watching your webinar on Pro ABD, is that we keep saying like broker and carrier. But if you're growing your business, merge those two trains of thought. Be a carrier broker. Keep those customers, give them the quotes, keep those customers, make that broker fee as a carrier. There's your software. It's right there. TransportAutoQuoter.com. Give quotes in the middle of the night. ProABD.com. Manage those leads. Keep all the money, dude. There you go. 2022 Viewpoint. Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live. Show number 223 in a row on a Tuesday night. Let's see. We ended the year with 2021 shows. And we had automotive trade shows before that. We do talk about the auto transport industry ecosystem. I encourage you, if you miss any shows, go back. If you need the links, let me know. Wow, what in the world? Yeah, my mouse has been acting weird. This is going to be... That is not what I wanted. Can I get back online? All right. So OEMs, auctions, dealers, services, carriers. This is what we're talking about. Kind of ish tonight. We do the back of the store, the front of the store. It's Auto Transport Intel. And if I make it look easy, man, put it in the live chat. Give it up. Come on. It's crazy. This is crazy going live for 2 hours. It's total insanity. I never know what button I'm going to hit. 2021 was the year of the hybrid. Digital meets physical. I don't know what 2022 is. I've been asking for months, and I can't figure it out. What is 2022? It's the year of the... I still don't know. I'll figure it out. Hey, we're starting 1 hour earlier every Tuesday night. That's it. It's now 7 p.m. Central Time forever. And you know, I like to say when the auction is a packed house, you'll find Ty eating hot dogs in Lane 8. Well, that was the past too, but you know, we want to get back to that. I'm hoping that's happening. Talking about the auctions, we did on the news, it was about a week ago, Accelerate Group purchasing America's Auto Auction. I think the deal is done. And in that news, for perspective, all right, Mannheim has 111, Odessa has 70, and Accelerate has 39. There's your 1, 2, 3. Look at this. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much, Mark, at Superflow Systems. Go to ProABD for your new CRM home, and the links for ProABD right there in the live chat. Mark is in the live chat if you've got any questions. Because here's the deal. We know that as of December 31st, all your stuff is sitting at the end of the driveway. And in the coming weeks, they're just going to haul your stuff off. So you've got to figure out something to do. Mark will help you. Find a software you can trust and rely on. Check out Pro ABD CRM. And if maybe you're an owner operator and you don't have those customer leads yet, but you're thinking you want to grow your business, ask Mark for help. He's right there. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate it. So when we're talking about the auctions, I was saying to Ty, listen, man, we need to come up with all the maps of these auctions. This is the Accelerate Group map. I'm not sure what time. Here's the America's Auto Auctions map, which is right. Did you know that? Did you know that it's like middle of the country going east? 23 auctions, right? What's your favorite city on there? It's a terrible social media ploy. How about ServNet? ServNet auctions. You got a copy of this? Did you get your phones out? Who's taking a screenshot around here? How about the power? And and if I move too fast, if you want anything, if you miss something, you want a copy of something, you watch the video and take a screenshot, or send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Be happy to help you out. If you're on the podcast and you can't see it, let me know. I'm happy to help. That's autotransportintel@gmail.com. This is more independent auctions. And here's a simulcast map, the OVE. Now this is right. You're really starting to see it here. Lots of auctions. There's a lot of auctions, man. This isn't even auctions, and I got a map of it. Where does it stop? All of this while eating hot dogs in Lane 8. That's what Hot Dogs in Lane 8's all about. Connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. So my mouse there we go. And if you need a copy of the trade shows list, we want to see you at trade shows. And if you want a copy, get out your phones, take a screenshot, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. We want to see you at a trade show. Let us know how we can help. So let's see, here's some comments. Hey, ATI team and everyone reading this, wishing you a prosperous, healthy, and happy New Year. Happy New Year! Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Means a lot. And I'm sharing this too. I asked the question on LinkedIn earlier. What did you see that you like to see more of? And we got me. That's thank you. I'm blushing. What else we got here? Let's see. 2 weeks in, I still can't figure out BATS. I'm sick of the lives of support sending me videos that don't match my issues. Worst software ever used. That's a real comment on Auto Transport Intel. What else we got? Oh, it sucks. It's really pathetic. J-Tracker was 1,000 times better. I don't understand what's wrong with Central Dispatch. So there you go. Not making it up. I'm just reading it. So we did the show, Move with Pro ABD CRM. Need help? Want to find out more? Man, you're getting a lot of screen time. Feels good, doesn't it? Boy, there's more. Is an auto transport broker software dropping you? We've been talking about it, and we want to help. There's no need to have all your stuff sitting at the end of the driveway, and then they come by and just pick up the rest of it. Now what have you got? Bye, business. Thank you. It was really fun. Oh, God. Man, I got to get off this topic. I'm going to get in trouble. I just signed up. My DOT and MC are new. Not even sure they are valid yet. I'm sitting on my truck and trailer. Didn't realize it would be 6 extra weeks. That's crazy. God, we're still talking about Central Dispatch? Holy mackerel. What kind of show is this? Send in your comments. Email autotransportintel@gmail.com. Hey, how about, does a broker need to send a dispatch sheet if using Central Dispatch? And my answer, you can read it, but my answer was, it is a good practice. If you're using Central Dispatch, go ahead and send the dispatch sheet through Central so the carrier sees it, and you can also create that digital handshake. Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. But there are many brokers that don't do it that way, which means there's other ways to do it. You can do what you want. Just make sure you get the information. Hey, I'm a freight broker. Can I dispatch as well? Found that so interesting. We'll talk about that on Dispatching Live on Thursday. Please do join us. But yes, yeah, actually, in the eyes of many, brokering is a whole building more legal than dispatching. But, you know, let's talk about it. Because the question is, what's brokering versus dispatching? Man, do we love talking about that on Thursdays. Michael, thank you, buddy. Really do appreciate that. #1 fan. Oh, you can't see the little jumping guy on the live chat. You can see it in the window, but not on the screen. What's up with that? Oh, and there's Bats is horrible, he says. Wow. Okay. Let's keep going. What else we got? Hey, did you see this? Oh my gosh, this is really big news, I think. Ship.Cars and CarrierSoft are announcing a partnership today. Do you see this? Today, January 4th. So do you think, based on the boxes being moved to the end of the driveway move that came out just about, that was about a month ago. This is crazy. That was about a month ago that everybody found it at the same time. Hey man, we're kicking you out of the storage unit. Get the, well, now there's this. What's next? Man, that's so interesting. Fascinating stuff. Speaking of, let's see here. You know the guy that got 110 years in prison for the trucking accident? And people were like, you know, like that, you know, come on, man. 110 years? Well, guess what? Colorado governor gave him 100 years off. And that's the news. Sometimes the right thing really does happen. Now, he does get 10 years. Because, I mean, you know, there's some manslaughter in there. But still. It kind of gives you hope. Wipe a little tear away. All right, I'm gonna share this. I am not real big on bankruptcies and accidents and all that hoopla. But, oh my God, do you see watch that? What the? Thank you, Super Dispatch. Looking forward to another great year of ATI shows in 2022. That means so very much. Thank you so much for participating in this channel. We got, what Michael says, we got the 100 years discount. We got a really big year lined up. I mean, yeah, 2021 was a big year. And I don't even know all the things that'll happen this year. I'm not, you know, I'm not clairvoyant and whatnot. But I know there's going to be a lot. There's going to be some really big stuff that hasn't happened before that happens this year. Both on this channel, in this industry, etc. So here we go. Let's just talk about this. I am only sharing this because between I-95 is a mess. Between the short amount of driving I did today, I literally saw a mattress hit the road today. And I wasn't on the road that long. You just gotta make sure, dude, auto transport's not a problem until it's a really, really big problem. So just make sure you train and you pay the carrier and all that stuff. You do not want to see this. Okay? Carvana, TikTok, 30K, Genesis fail. That's all I need to say. You do not want to be on TikTok. Training and pay. Come on now. You can do this. And I'm not blaming any driver. It happens. We've all had crappy days. But my gosh, everybody's got a camera phone and they're trying to be a TikTok star. What's going on, Candy? Candy's got the village dues. Late to class. That's alright, Candy. Have a seat. Thank you, Candy, so much. All right. In fact, Candy, great timing. Great timing on the, speaking of TikTok stars. Okay. This is how you get your car shipping news. It is on Auto Transport Intel. It is on Tuesday nights. And what you can do is, more and more, people are casting it. It's so easy now with YouTube TV. You can put the Car Shipping Business channel up on the TV. Man, I mean, you know, do it. Are you doing that right now? Who's watching Auto Transport Intel on the big screen in the living room? And the kids are dancing around and everybody's happy, you know, and the pets are eating their pet food. Good one, Jay. Real prepared for that joke. But it is time. Oh. It is time. Thank you so much. Right on time. I'm at 7:30, which means we're a little late in the news for part 2, but that's okay. It is time for Are You a Car Shipping Guru? We'll try to move quickly on this. Perfect time candy. Pencils on the desk. Here we go. Question 1. Accelerate Group has physical auctions located in how many states? Is it 3, 9, 13, or 22? That's a good question. I actually don't know, and I just showed the map. Let's do this. I'm going to put my answers over here. I've got my handy-dandy notepad. Thank you, Pre-Owned Auto Logistics. Okay. Question 1. I'm going to go with 22. I'm going to go with 22. Let's see if I can get that right. And we're going to close the question line in 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on, Ty. All right, here we go. Question 2. Oh, Candy's got 22. That's what I put. It's got to be 22. But it could be 13. It's not 3 or 9. Oh, see, Silver Mint's got 13. It honestly could be 13. Honestly could. Because I think several of those states that had multiple, and they're at, I don't know. Here we go. Question 2. What is the most appropriate carrier pay amount to ship a 2019 Toyota Avalon from Newport, Vermont to Westport, South Dakota? Is it $875, $1020, $1355, or $1665? Let's see. And these are current rates. By the way, did you see on Dispatching Live on Thursday how many loads were on Central? Ouch. It was a lot. Which is going to, well, that should drive rates up. Because nothing's moving. You ain't moving that burnout Beetle for $70. Vermont to South Dakota, dude, I'm gonna go 1665. Let's up the throttle on this thing. Yeah, Michael, Ty is waiting for all of us to answer. That's it. 1665. I agree with you, Michael. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, burritos in the oven, fingers on the buzzers. Question 3. What is the most commonly repossessed car as of 2021? Honda Civic, Toyota Camry, BMW M3, Audi A4. You know, it's funny. Oh, there's no Honda Accord. Honda Accord is always on the 95 is closed. Yeah. Yeah. And what do the loads pay, right? I'll tell you what. Call the broker right now. I know. See, but I switched sides of the fence so fast you wouldn't even notice. Call the dispatcher. Call somebody and say, listen, I can do it, but I-95 is closed, so I need 1665, you know, or whatever, right? This is insane. It's insane what carriers go through. Most commonly repossessed cars of 2021. An M3. That's a good guess. I was going to say A4. Oh, we got 2 for BMW. Candy's got the Camry. No, you're thinking stolen. That's eating dinner, brushing my teeth. Yeah, exactly. Combing my teeth. What's up, Joe, car shipper? How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. And you know, and what's cool too, me and Ty always say this. When you're part of our community and ecosystem, and you know, it's not that hard to do. Just show up, say hello, send an email. We talk about you. And I was thinking, Joe, you made me think of, I know this other guy working on a software. It's a different type. And when I see software news, sometimes I'll shoot articles of software news that I see to different people. So anyways, yeah, man, keep us posted. I'm curious what's going on with Car Shipper. Let us know. Be the news. Ford Escort. Thank you, Silver Mint. Yeah, repo. Oh, shoot. I love this. Question 4. What is the most appropriate carrier pay amount to ship a 2020 Jeep Gladiator from Des Moines, Iowa to Oak Ridge, Tennessee? Send it to the boys. 315, 575, 750, 1125. That shouldn't be too much. I mean, but enough. I'm going to go with 750. I don't think 1125. Yeah, I'm going to go 750 on that. By the way, what was my answer on the last one? Oh, I don't know why. I'm just going to go with A4. I think you guys are wrong. I mean, I think you're right. Whoa. What was that double entendre, slip of the mouth? Freudian, whatever. 84,000 on Central Dispatch? Oh my God, that's a record. I've never heard of that. What does that mean, dude? That is insane. All right, yeah, we're gonna keep moving this along because we got part 2 of the news. Holy cow! Question 5. According to Car and Driver, the current average price of a used car is it 17.5, 21, 25,350, or 27,000? Current average price of a used car, you know it's above 20. 25,350 sounds like the kind of number that you'd see in a, I don't know, statistical journal. Yeah, Car Shipper, let's do it. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Anybody, if you have got something you need to tell me, if I should be updated on something, let's set up a Zoom meeting. Send me an article, send me photos. Let's see, is there anything now? Do I have anything new now? Okay, cool. 21K? 21K. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go 25,350, but I like it. LA Auto Transport. There you go. Hey, that's good marketing. You know, marketing is everywhere. I say this too. If you're gonna like I've seen, I'll be on Instagram and I see like a video, somebody's eating ribs or I don't know, trash in the parking lot. After you shoot the ribs and the trash, man, turn that camera on your trailer and say, hey, this is me and my trailer. I'm in Texas. I love Texas. Do you love Texas? I'll help you move your cars in Texas. And post. That's it. Ribs, garbage, trailer, marketing. And thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Are You a Car Shipping Guru? Don't forget, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up. Become an ATI insider, talk to Ty. Let us know how we can help you. We want to help you. Thank you so much for being a part of our community and joining us on Tuesday nights live. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a quick break, and right after this, we're going to go into part 2 of industry news, so stick around.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Do you need help staying loaded or moving a car? That's the voice of Sue. She runs a dispatch office. She's a fully licensed broker. She's my co-host on Thursdays on Dispatching Live. Visit murphyautotransportservices.com. The links are in the live chat. Email, phone number, website. Okay, yes, we are now moving into... Oh, and I see Bryanna is in the live chat. She's here. And yes, we got the answers for the 5 questions. Do join us on Thursdays on Dispatching Live at 1 o'clock Central Time for the answers. We'll do all 5 questions, and then we'll do all the answers. You got it. And we have Muggo Problems. You don't want to miss that. Shoot. My goodness. All right, here we go. Industry News, Part 2. Tesla. This is the big news in the automotive world. Tesla posts a record 308,000 global vehicle deliveries in Q4 as the shares surge. Better than expected results push Tesla's global deliveries for the year to more than 936,000. It's up about 87% from 2020, which, well, everything's up from 2020. Chris Chamberlain made it. What's up, Chris Chamberlain? Thank you so much for joining us, saying hello, participating, and supporting. Really do appreciate it, Chris. We see Chris all the time in here, and we love that. We really got this core community going, so thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, on the Tesla news, Tesla said repeatedly it expects 50% annual increases in deliveries over a multi-year period. The 7th consecutive quarterly gain comes amid a global semiconductor slump that crimped production as most other automakers and kept sales in check despite rising demand. And the company doesn't break out sales by geography, but the US and China are the largest market. And the bulk of sales, Model 3 and Y, X, S. Yeah, there's a lot happening. And in 2022, Tesla will be adding production capacity with 2 new factories, Austin and Berlin. Tesla, the darling, right? Tesla adds $144 billion to market value after record deliveries. I mean, delivery. Now, but do you lose some points for the recall? I'm just asking. Instead of an A, it's an A minus. But then, what about this? Secures contract with Glovis to ship cars out of China. I don't know. I'm going to say that equals out. I think the A is intact. Tesla gets an A. Ford doesn't use dealerships to sell the Mach-E in China. No dealerships? 25 mall sites and counting. In China, Ford has set up 25 storefront sites in major metro areas for customers to buy electric vehicles rather than go through traditional dealerships. And it opened up a storefront in Michigan in 2017. I think we're going to see more of that, right? That's where that vending machine is kind of the... I'm just saying. It's going to get dicey. There's a silver lining in the still challenging used car supply picture. According to 2022 State of the American Driver Report, 58% of drivers said they would consider selling their vehicle this year. Last year it was 14%. 58% would consider selling. What are you going to do after you sell it? That's all I want to know. Among those consumers who ended up selling, close to a third traded into a dealership. Okay, a third. What did the other 2/3 do? Were they riding bikes? 19% of consumers selling their vehicles sold directly to another consumer. 17% utilize online vehicle platforms. 11% Facebook Marketplace. 10% Craigslist. 6% eBay Motors. Despite common knowledge that dealership trade-ins leads to a smaller profit, convenience. They still went to the dealer because it was convenient. Very interesting. CarMax unit sales jumped 30%. The omnichannel. Used car bubble could burst in 2022. Easing supply chain issues could mean more new cars. Which could lead to a drop in secondhand car prices. I want to get Paul Machine's take on this one. He's coming up. Auto defaults make largest monthly rise in more than a year. Another one for Paul. Auto defaults, largest monthly rise in more than a year. That's the most auto defaults increase since July, August 2020. Wow. November auto ABS remittance reports displayed the typical seasonal credit deterioration common across most consumer loan types. Here we go. As holiday expenditures add up, and the influx of cash from tax refunds is still a few months away. Isn't it amazing that holiday shopping and tax refunds play such a big part in the recipe of one's finances? Wow, it's fascinating. In-person training is back at Mannheim Riverside. Well, they have people again? Wow. Supply chain career wages, interesting. The longer you're in it, the more you can win it. They tell you that at the recruiting camp? It's a fortune cookie. I think I read that once. Toyota is planning to build a $1.3 billion battery manufacturing plant in North Carolina. These batteries are everywhere, man. Battery. Do you know your gigawatts? Hey, did you hear on January 4th, 1917, somebody do the math. What is that, 105 years ago? Construction began of the massive Ford Rouge car manufacturing facility on the banks of the Rouge River in Dearborn, Michigan. There it is. Look at that. And you can see the horses. I don't see any horses, Jay. Tuesday Nights Live is now at 7 o'clock Central Time on Tuesday nights. Yeah, we're a few minutes late for the if you're hanging out in the Zoom room. Thank you guys so much. My featured guest tonight, always running behind, but I got to make sure we got a full show. What is that? What else we got? DOT compliance. That's tomorrow at noon on Wednesdays, same time, same bat channel. Where we do how we doing. Make sure you're loaded right. Come on now. What is that, ramen? Party of one. Dispatching Live, that's a 90-minute show. Thursdays, join us. Load board search. Oh my gosh. That show's just gone crazy. What is that? Is that a vintage coffin? Could be. Could be yours. You might need an appointment. What are we doing? Cars on the Move every Friday. Dealers, auctions, and carriers. Hot dogs in lane 8. Oh, holiday transport prep. Yeah, that was a great special edition we had in December. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. Do you want to be the next special edition? Let us know. Let us know how we can help you. Thank you guys so much for your pay. Oh, Jason Dominic, thanks. First timer here. That's awesome. That is great. Thank you, Jason. Galaxy Auto Shipping. That is fantastic. Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. And we appreciate it. And we know also, we got people that watch and never say anything. That is totally cool too. No problem at all. If you get the email, if you watch the show, if you're live, on demand, watch the Instagram, whatever. It's all good. It's Auto Transport Intel. This is the entire automotive industry and transport all wrapped in one. Here's what we're going to do. Right after this, I got Ty coming in. Let us know how we can help you. Do me a favor, stick around. We'll be right back. Here we go. Is your current vehicle imaging process producing inconsistent images? Frustrating? Time-consuming? At the mercy of another vendor's schedule? Well, it doesn't have to be. Black Widow Imaging provides a simple system to capture high-quality images of your vehicles in seconds. Simply align the driver's side tire with the floor stripe. Stop on the floor plate to scan your vehicle code and capture the exterior images. It's that easy. It's also equipped with an interactive 360-degree interior camera option so your customers don't miss any details. The results are fast, consistent 4K images that are delivered to your website in minutes. Let us show you how easy your imaging process can be anywhere in the global supply chain. Visit blackwidowimaging.com to schedule a live demo. Capture more automotive business, profit with Black Widow Imaging, high-resolution 4K images for OEMs, auctions, dealers, rail, port, fleet, insurance, transportation, and more. Schedule your live demo. Go to blackwidowimaging.com. Links are in the live chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now, here we go. We have the one, the only, the man, the myth, Ty Thompson.
Hey, Jay. How's it
Hey,
going?
what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How's the audio? I'm trying something a little different. Does
That's
it work?
all good. Your audio's good. Your lighting is good. Everything's good.
Wow, that's amazing. I just finished eating and literally just finished brushing my teeth. So I missed the Black. Did you just do a Black Widow commercial?
I did. Yeah, I did.
I love Black Widow. Also, there's some things possibly coming up with Black Widow this year. Some possibly big announcements with ATI and Black Widow doing some things that are pretty crazy. So we'll have to see where that goes. The other cool thing that I wanted to point out was Randy was in the live chat. Randy Wills, Midwestern Car Carriers. I'm really excited to have Joe on because I love the way Joe talks. And I love the fact that Midwestern is growing. And guess what, guys? They need some drivers, right? Okay, there's that. The next thing I wanted to say was, I heard you say something a minute ago, something about you were talking about our community, and Ty and I talk about you guys, you know, that kind of stuff. So what, this is a funny story. We hadn't planned it. I haven't talked to Jay since what, Friday? So he sends me a text, hey, can you check this guy out? Looks like maybe he unsubscribed, see what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I don't even remember who it is. I talk to so many people. So I dialed the number, it pops up, I've saved the number, and I know the guy. And immediately we start this dialogue about what are you doing? Yeah, man, great to hear from you, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, by the way, what are you doing? And I didn't mention anything about the email. I was just talking to him, what's he doing? Oh, I'm going to go haul something air. It's like CO2 or some kind of air. It's like, oh, okay, great. Point being, here's the point of the story. The point of the story is we really care about you to the point that if you unsubscribe to the email, it's okay. Because we just saved somebody's life. And that's what the guy told me. He said, hey, I really appreciate you being honest with me. I went through, I don't know how many YouTubes until I found Jay and Ty, and I got a hold of you. I can't believe you called me, but thank you. I'm not doing transport. I'm going to go do something. Here's what he said. He said, I'm at an age, I got 5 kids, and based on what you told me, based on what I think I see, I've decided I'm just going to go drive for this company, and here's what they're doing for me. And he started rattling off, and it's perfect for him and his situation, and he's avoiding a potential really big train wreck. So we do care about you.
That
we
is
appreciate
awesome.
you. Yeah, really cool.
Dude, I'm gonna, I don't know, I need a new bell. I need like a saving lives bell. That is an awesome story, and it's neat. That's why I sent you those. Yeah, I haven't talked to you since last year. But I mean, yeah, is that because I see them come through. When I see them, I mean like unsubscribes, and I just want to know. Yeah, I just want to know. That's fine. I don't take it personally. I want to know, but what I want to know is this: I want to know, why did you sign up, and why did you unsign up? What was it you thought you were gonna get, and what didn't you get? Assuming those basic things apply. Maybe you hit the wrong button. But, and then for you to follow up, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Well, honestly, it's my nature, but I really do care a lot about anybody. I mean, I'm sitting here as the show opens up, and I see John Cochran, I see Carlos Braxton, I see Vistaga, which, by the way, is Vistaga Devon?
No, so that's Victory Lap. Victory Lap.
Devon's Victory Lap.
And
okay.
we're trying to do this too. That's so funny. We're trying to keep the community straight because you got the aliases, and then you got the usernames, and then you get the subdomains. I don't know who anybody is anymore. Right? And so Vistaga's like, oh, really?
You don't know who I am?
And after a while, I just go by the alias. But yeah, what were you saying?
Well, I was talking about there are real people. We really do talk about you guys, and you really are important to this channel, this community. And I look at Chris Chamberlain. I mean, I can just keep going. Everybody in the live chat, Candy. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. These are our friends, and this is there really is a network growing. I like to call it the grassroots movement, right? So the question is what do you want to see more of from 2021 moving forward? Is that what the question was?
Yes.
Okay. So Here's some of the things I saw that I'd like to see more of. I saw a tremendous growth in ATI Community, and community going to advertisers, going to businesses, going to conferences, those kinds of things. So I want to see more ATI growth in 2022. I want to see more people touching people, talking to people in the same room without something covering their face. I want to see more freedom. And I'll tell you what I'm really excited about is auctions. So, 2020, 2021 took kind of a hit on some of the auctions. I remember, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to go find the video,
awesome.
But I was the dude in 2020 standing in the transport parking lot saying, this is going to be the move for the independent auctions. Now's your time, go. Because some other auctions want to be woke or whatever we want to call it. So, point being,
want to be
Yeah.
woke. That is
Woke.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you did. I love it. You answered the question. I don't want to cut you off. I'm just landing the plane. More ATI at trade shows. More of our community. Did I cut you off?
No, we're good.
Are you sure?
Keep going. Oh yeah, I'm real sure because you know what? You and I roll like that. We just keep going.
We do. Well, we do. And we got, we got to have coffee. And when's the
Yeah.
last time we had coffee? I mean, months.
Oh my God, I spent.
I mean, maybe a trade show, right?
Yeah, that would count.
Nothing beats when we had a business meeting by the swimming pool at Caesars. That is still one of my favorites. Nothing happened. I mean, it's not like it was planned and nothing happened. It's just sitting in the sun, having a business meeting with you was amazing, dude.
Yeah, it was good. And that's sometimes, it's these little one-off things that we're not planning that turn into some incredible meetings that give us some more life, some more vision. And again, to me, that goes back to, the value of the platform, the value of the channel is, we're here to help your business. We're here to help you grow. We're here to connect auctions, dealers, carriers. We're looking for drivers. We're looking at technology. I mean, there's so much, and I'm listening to your information highway and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking Randy's wondering when you're going to start talking about maintenance. When are you going to start talking about drivers? And, there's just so much to talk about. And start getting into financing trucks and you start talking, I mean, what are we going to do? How are we going to,
I love talking to the guys at Midwestern because they really shine a light on that important part of the vertical. I mean, that's critical stuff. And I also want to say, what you reminded me of when I was doing the ATI shows last Tuesday night and I was going on and on and on, which is something I do. And Candy said, "Oh my God, we're his life." And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, that's so true.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't even realize that.
Well, no, it is, and that's the and here's another thing. I know I'm not a YouTube. I don't keep up with YouTube like you do, influencers or whatever you want to call them. I know you keep up with that stuff, but I'm sure there are guys that have a big fan base that have a lot of people that follow them and they're never going to leave and listen to everything they say, and that's really cool. But are you in touch with these? Can these people get a hold of you? Can they?
Oh, I tell you what, it's funny you say that, and yet, even the get rich and I quit and I go bankrupt guys, they get tons of comments, and I wonder. Here's what I want to know: other than the YouTube comments of the happy slappy, did anybody catch up with each other and was any help done? I don't know. I actually don't know. Because you never see it in the show. You see it in the comments, but not in the show.
Right. And then, okay, here's another, I know we're yapping about how awesome the show is. Okay, that's what we're excited about.
On and on.
Who's up next?
Joe, which, by the way, Joe is going to, he sent me this list of articles he wants to get through. I just want to say this, is Vistaga, okay, here we go. Vistaga's name is Travis. And Travis has never hauled a car. And as soon as I read that, I remember that's right. Vistaga's name is Travis. What I didn't remember is never hauled a car. Vistaga's name is Travis. Everybody say it together. Vistaga's name is Travis. Travis.
Got it.
Now, everybody go to the back, get a Danish and a coffee, and grab a seat, because Vistaga's name is Travis.
Yeah, and you're going to need all that stuff because Joe's getting ready to come on.
Oh my gosh.
From Midwestern Car Carriers.
You're going to need to heat another burrito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a great lineup tonight, by the way.
It's That's it.
This is definitely what I would call core panel. I mean, just before everybody shows up, let me tell you something. We talk about you guys too. We talk about Paul Machin. We talk about Tim. I talk about Tim all the time. I mean, Tim, and we talk about. Actually, I saw Paul Sunday night, right? So you got Tim, you got Paul, you got Joe, you got Bryanna, and I'm missing one, and Jay and Ty. And
No, that's it. You got the whole lineup. You did it. You got the whole lineup. I mean, Sky said hello in the LinkedIn. You know, a lot of people couldn't make it because they're traveling right after the holidays, this and that. But we have a great show lined up. So I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Ty, I'm gonna give you. You can go heat up your burritos or whatever you got to do.
Got it.
I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room. I'm gonna bring in Joe. So here we go with that. And here comes the transition. All right, so we're gonna put Ty back in the waiting room. We're gonna bring in Joe, and this is okay. So here's what we got. We've got Joe Bercari. He is operations and more from Midwestern Car Carriers. Joe, Joe has been our featured guest for so many great shows and topics. Please give a warm welcome to Joe Bercari of Midwestern Car Carriers. Joe, can you see me and hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. We can see you. We can hear you. We can dispense with the formalities, Joe. What's going on? You gave me a list of articles. Jump right in. What's on your mind?
Well, let me ask, can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Right. Well, I kind of deviated. As usual, I deviate. I'm good at deviation a little bit, but I'm going to stick to your core message here of what do we see in 2022? What do we want to see in 2022? But I think it's important. You got to, someone once started a speech and explained, how do you get to New York? Well, that depends where you start. If you're in St. Louis, the way to New York is a lot different than if you're in Tallahassee. So where did we start? What did we see in 2019, in 2020, 2021? And what do we think is going to continue in 2022? And maybe some of this is not as optimistic as you'd want it to be, but it's reality. And so you have to kind of pay attention to it. So the first thing I see I'm trying to get that to go. The first thing that I think we all saw was that there was definitely a shortage of drivers in 2021. And actually, there were some spillover into the rail side of the business where there were less trains on the track. And that's just a reality of what has happened. And then the new OEM market, spot market, that drives a lot of things. So, whether that is additional business that is available by way of contract carriers such as Midwestern, or if that is additional business that's coming through brokerage companies such as some of the larger ones that have established relationships with OEMs, that is driving a lot of increased business in the latter part of 2021 and into 2022. There are not many OEMs that I am aware of right now who are not busy. Also, the railroad is struggling to keep up with a lot of their standard lanes. So there's a lot of supplemental spot traffic that is available right now. So if you're shipping new vehicles and you've got a connection to a company, some of the larger brokerage companies, then you probably are going to have a line on some opportunity to make some additional money at a fairly good rate. I would say we saw the tail end of 21. We saw a very substantial increase in overall production from all of the manufacturers. And it looks like 2021, we bit the bitter pill and struggled through the semiconductor shortage. And now production is starting to get nuts. There is volume coming out of every direction that builds a car in the domestic new market. And the demand is going to be ferocious. I'm seeing a lot of comments about how, and one that I like the most is the one I highlighted here in the left side of the screen, that it could take up to 2024 or even 2025 to satisfy the pent-up demand that the new vehicle market is demanding at this point in time. Edmunds probably the most conservative of the estimates that they're showing, but they're suggesting that we'll be at 15.2 million SARs in 2022. And that's what we saw at the tail end of 2021. Things started to get awfully busy, and now we have a lot of the manufacturers, especially domestic auto plants, are just pushing out a lot of volume in an attempt to try and catch up to that demand. Of course, someone's got to move that, and that references back to the last slide, and that references back to this whole community and why we are here. So there was a Newsweek article in Focus. I sent the link over to Jay. I don't know how he managed to pick up on my Karnak joke before I even threw this up there.
That is crazy.
But somehow, so maybe Jay did.
Whoa.
Going to do a silly joke, what it was, but. One of the 12 auto industry expert predictions for 2022, most of this stuff would be common sense if you have any proximity to the actual OEM market. Things like car prices are going to rise and demand is very strong and all that. Number 11, my favorite subject, the subject I get called out on more on this channel than anything else, is the demand for EVs is going to grow. And this is probably, again, this is not something that's really going to be rocket science for most people. By the way, it's an interesting article. I started to go through it a little bit more, but I decided that would be a little against the grain of the show. So, but if you have the link, Jay, and you want to throw it up there, it's a good read, easy, quick read for someone and fairly current. But the demand for EVs is definitely going to grow. And look what happened just today. Announcements were made that Ford is planning on doubling its production of the F-150 Lightning EV. Doubling! So you have to understand, they were planning on blending in EV production with their standard internal combustion F-150 production at a rate of about 10% EV, 90% internal combustion, and then they were going to let the demand in the market sort of take things where it was going to go. Well, that went out the window. They're doubling their production of EVs based upon the strength of their initial pre-orders and sales. I believe sometime this week they're saying that they're going to basically open up the internet to start doing pre-orders. I mean, they're damn near sold out before they built a single one. 168% increase in demand of EVs in 2021, and it's expected to grow in 2022. And that is not me. That's based upon an article that I put up there. I think that, I don't remember if that was from Ward's or maybe CNN. But this is not fly-by-night article information. This is the real stuff. Also, I put in here on one of our favorite customers, Hyundai, building a subcompact SUV with a price tag under $40,000 for an EV with a 300-mile range. In addition to that, they're saying that EV will be able to charge from 10% to 80% battery in under 20 minutes, which no other car on the market is capable of doing right now, not to those extents anyways. We're going to see how that shapes out. There's probably going to be some other surprises to the market as things go on. But hey, listen, EVs are going to be the thing. They're going to be what are going to be getting sold like crazy. They're pushing the hype train, and we're going to have to move them. That's going to be the onus of our industry. But, by far, I would say that the one thing that I want to see more of going into 2022 is a picture of Ty. I want to see more of Ty. He is the man. He's pointing at something, and there's something important over there.
That's awesome. Great. I love, and you know what, because that's Ty pointing at you. He's pointing at you, the viewer. Ty is pointing at you. Should I take the slide? I'll take the slide. Is this your last slide? I'll take the slide.
That's my last slide.
All right, I'll take the slide. I like that. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, Ty is pointing at you, and Ty said he wants to see more ATI at trade shows. So then I'm going to put Joe's roulette chip on that and double down on Ty. That's great. And I'll tell you, and it's just, thank you for the EVs. Joe, by the way, thank you in general for what you just did. You always exceed my expectations with the show and tell. I guarantee somebody right now, one of the other featured guests is like, oh my gosh, I don't have near that many things. and collages and everything else, Joe. I mean, you really put so much into it. It means so much to me. And at the same time, if you didn't do any work, not a problem. I got you. This is Tuesday Nights Live. So, but thank you for doing that. I really did. And I also want to say this, is that Vistaga, Travis, he's got EV puke. Well, I'll tell you what, Camera One. When you watch Auto Transport Intel, I'm realizing this. Get ready to barf when you tune in to Auto Transport Intel, because you're going to hear something you don't want to hear. We don't, I think every show, every 2-hour Tuesday night show contains some piece of information that you just don't want to hear. You think?
Well, Jay, I would say you're definitely right, but look, you cannot like them, or you can but they're coming. That's what's going to be sold. So, you have to be prepared for it in the business.
Yeah, well, the thing, it's interesting as you say that. And sorry about the clicking buttons. So graphics are going crazy. But the EV thing is happening. And I know that, like, I'll tell you honestly, when I think about, I saw Elon Musk. Okay, Elon gets on a lot of people's nerves. Okay?
Why?
Right? Okay, there I said it. Finally, somebody says it. Everybody's thinking it. But when you hear him talk, you can't help but think, man, some of that crap he said is right. I mean, I don't know if the ball bearings through the window of the Cybertruck, I don't know if that was a game or not. Actually, I think that was a real oops. But when Elon was talking about, the year is going to come, and it's not that far away, where there's going to be more autonomous vehicles on the road than non-autonomous.
Yeah.
I know nobody wants to hear that. Somebody just barfed all over their keyboard watching ATI. But, and then what does that look like? I know. I don't want to get too freaked out. So let's just throttle it down a little, Jay, on the bad news. But EV, that's my whole point. EV's coming. It's here. And there will be, again, if you really want to get into the bad news, how about this? Let me phrase it as a question. Do you think the day's coming where the automobile that you love that runs on gas, you're going to need like new permits and stickers so that you can get it on the road? Right? Doesn't that sound like the government in the future?
The thing of it is, there's an awful lot that requires gasoline in today's world, no matter what it is. So there's probably going to be a lot of other forms of internal combustion that are still around. And, I talk about the EVs a lot. I preach a lot about them, but I don't know that I would necessarily say that they're the 100% solution. There's a lot of technologies that are still yet to be discovered that, EVs like internal combustion, they have drawbacks. And, what are those drawbacks? Well, range and charge time, all that. So I don't want to make this an EV show, but
range anxiety is real.
That there are a lot of things that happen with them that,
and the cold
could pop up and
right. Yeah. How's your EV doing in Montana? How you doing? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Not good. It's not good. All right, we covered some topics. Joe, that was amazing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. Stand by for us, Joe, because we're all going to get together here shortly. But I'm going to bring in Paul Machin now. Paul Machin is going to take center stage. It's time to pass the microphone to Paul Machin. If you don't already know, you're in for a treat. Paul Machin, he's a friend of the show, and he's got so much information from a macro automotive industry perspective. So he's about to join in the Zoom room. Thank you guys so much for saying hello in the live chat, asking questions. If you got a question for Paul, here we go. Paul Machin, can you see me and hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can see you, and I can hear you just fine. Joe, great presentation as always.
Amazing. So wonderful. Paul, thank you for taking the time. Are you still on vacation or are you back?
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back with a force.
We're so lucky.
Wide open all day today.
All right, good. Well, so then I passed you. Okay, so keywords, what? Defleeting, used. Yep. And then anything else that you thought was relevant, because Bryanna's coming up soon with the repo, the recovery, which, you know, is neat. Back in the, I don't know, was that a year ago? You were talking a lot about repo numbers, way before anybody else. Then consumer driveway inventory. Let me hand you the mic. Paul, take it away. What do you want to talk about?
Can you see my screen?
I don't see it, but you should have the ability to share. Maybe it's on the other monitor. Thank you for saying hello. Bring on Silverman says, bring on the EV. I'd like to see 50-cent gallon of gas. Interesting point. This dog, Travis says, can't have an EV if you don't have a garage. Oh, you can't have an EV if you don't have a garage. Well, that's articles that talk about consumer power and the price of consumer power. And then I shared the headline, I think it was a week ago, about Ford expects to make like $1 billion by, I don't know, selling electricity. Paul might know something about that too. Okay, Paul, I can see your screen.
Super. So, we mentioned about the heavy defleeting. One of the things that we noticed very early on in Blackwood was we started looking at the past couple decades worth of November, December, January, February, transitioning from the old year to the new year. In November, December, we traditionally see some heavy defleeting, as you see by the graph here. And November and December 2020, we had some pretty decent heavy defleeting because the leasing companies were trying to just get their inventory levels down to try to offset their expenses into 2021, which helped support the 2021 January, February, March, and April sales. What we did not see and what we were anticipating is the lack of heavy defleeting for November, December 2021, continuing into January, February 2022. That old expression, the best indicator of future success is previous data points. This is one of those data points I think we need to really pay attention to and understand. Even if the manufacturer started pushing out, hundreds of thousands of new vehicles to be sold in the marketplace, it's still, as Joe said, we're short almost 80,000 drivers nationwide. So that's going to further exacerbate the supply chain demands. In addition to that, we just don't have enough pre-owned inventory to come in to support the levels we're used to. But and to further augment that, let's take a look at what I'm showing you here for the wholesale weekly sales rate at the auctions. A lot of data here. Our auction data going back to the beginning of the year, week by week by week. Generally in the fourth quarter, auction lanes are really exciting with incentives and plenty of inventory to choose from. But what we noticed is that there was a lack of lease returns, rentals, and repossessions, which made for a really tight market. And what was left in the lanes were the least desirable type of vehicles you could actually want to get. But they still were commanding high floor prices. So we are now at 60%. Our sales rates dropped down to 60%. Ideally, what we'd like to see is 75% plus sales rate of the vehicles running through the lane that get sold. Well, fewer than 60% is what's being sold in the lane. When you compare that to what we are seeing on our national basis for retail listings, the purple line here in our retail listings. So Jay, what that's showing is we're at 16% fewer listings for used vehicles in the marketplace. But there's a little bit more information in that data that that's encouraging for both used vehicle values as well as for new vehicle values. Well, currently right now, the Experian Q3 report that just came out in late November said the average loan payment was $465. So, and with the average term of 8% and finance rates or finance terms about 67 months. Many qualified prime and super prime buyers, and even the near prime buyers, instead of looking to buy a new vehicle, are holding out and waiting to try to find that new car so they can take advantage of the 0% financing, 1 to 2%, so they don't have to pay 7.9 and still have a 465, 545 payment in that range versus getting a pre-owned car. At the same time, there's a large subset of consumers who just want to get a pre-owned vehicle because they're still less expensive. So we expect to see pricing stabilization for the majority of 2022 and even into some 2023. And Joe hit that nail right on the head. It'll take until late 2023, early 2024 before we get to the same levels of new vehicle and pre-owned inventory levels that we're used to seeing. So what does that mean for country as a whole? I found this, and I was going to share this with you last week, but I wanted to hold on to it. This is a survey of consumer finance from 1989 to 2019. And as you can see here, for the last couple decades, it's been a topsy-turvy wave. We finished 2019 with the average loan valuation for a family, $17,000 in the marketplace. We finished Q3 at $25,909. Look at that difference. Average family vehicle loan was $17,000 in 2019. The average family vehicle loan in 2021 in Q3 was $25,909. And we know for sure that since the end of Q3, Q4 saw in more price increases at higher elevations, 152% wholesale, 135% retail. So our expectation is that the Q4 results will be even higher. So the encouraging news for everyone all through is the market has been conditioned to pay more. I have evidence that proves that if you tell a dealer that it's going to cost more to transport a vehicle just because the market is there, and you explain to the dealer, there's 80,000 fewer drivers in the market. It's in order for safety, we need to make sure we can get the vehicle to you right, but fuel expenses, fuel expenses higher, cost to maintain and service, the trucks are higher. You can justify those, and dealers will pay more because now John Q. Public is willing to pay more, and they are. And they're not just paying more for automobiles, they're paying more for everything. So when the market stabilizes and says, okay, well, we're seeing price adjustments come back down, we're seeing prices come back down, what's it going to come back down to? What will be the new normal? It won't go back to what it was in January 2021. We won't see pricing, in 2019 like we're seeing today. If it drops, it might drop 20 points, but that still means it's 120 points higher than it was in January 2020, 2021, if that makes sense. So that's the end of the show for me.
I like the way you said that, Paul. That is the end of the show. Here we go. Stop share. I just took it back. Good news. It's not the end of the show. And in fact, I got a couple questions for you. Okay. Defleeting. I like to try to clear the air because it's one of the things that I think is important about all of this is we get this data, and many of us, most of us, some of us can crunch the data, but without understanding the terms, we can't crunch it. So defleeting, let's talk about what defleeting means for some aspects of our market. This is a really big deal. In fact, it's important for most, but what is defleeting in case somebody doesn't know? What's defleeting?
In simple terms, it's major companies that have large fleets of vehicles that they provide for their businesses, as well as rental car companies. Fleets of inventory, they're used to be able to liquidate the higher mileage or average mileage vehicles at the end of every year to replace them with new ones. They're not doing that now. They're holding on to that inventory because they cannot get their supply of new vehicles to backfill. Right. One of the reasons why prices has increased so much is because of that. Companies like Hertz and Enterprise, Avis are in the lane bidding against each other to buy the vehicles that dealers would normally buy.
All right. So when defleeting decreases, inventory decreases, competition increases, price increases. I mean, that's a major factor in what's going on in the market. And we're talking, especially with auctions, wholesale inventory, right? And that is going to affect the transporter that was used to a steady
flow of it, pickups, inventory.
That's
Yeah.
right. Flow of inventory. Where'd the cars go? Let's see here. Oh, I want to talk about consumer sales, but I do want to say this. You and we talked in the past about, like, I think I was telling you, okay, on Central Dispatch, you have, let's take the national volume and capacity available on Central Dispatch, which is the load board that's pretty much well known when you're in auto transport and you're kind of new. And even if you've been around for a while, but especially if you're new, Central Dispatch is where you're going to find your work. Okay? And that Central Dispatch volume, as it fluctuates, is a really big deal to that group of transporters that rely on it for work. One of the things I always want to know is, we can see 40,000 available right now, 50,000, 20,000. I mean, it goes up and down. I always want to know, okay, what if we could really dive into those numbers and see what those vehicles are. Where are they? What are they? Are they short salvage moves? Are they 500-mile dealer moves? What are these vehicles? And here's what's fascinating. Now the number's gone completely crazy. In January of most years, the number's really low because everything has been kind of picked through. It looks like a swap meet where most of the good stuff's gone. It's upside down. It's January 2022. We have COVID and all kinds of other craziness. And it's someone just said in the live chat earlier, it's at 80,000. That's national capacity, 80,000 vehicles that need to be transported in North America right now on Central Dispatch. That number is unheard of. 60 is high. Even 50 is pretty good. It's at 80. What is going on?
You have a lot of dealers that are, I was talking to a couple of dealers last week, and they're telling me they're taking a lot of their vehicles that they have in stock and retailing them at wholesale. I kind of laughed when I heard that. I said, retailing inventory at wholesale, but they're doing it. So you're seeing a lot of that.
Okay. So keep going. Because we know it's not repo. Yeah, keep going.
Repo's coming back.
Okay. And I know we're speculating live, but I think what I'm trying to say, I'm sliding you a piece of paper and I'm saying, Paul, we should look into this, because I don't know if the numbers are going to stay crazy, but I'm assuming the only people that know what this is are the ones that run the load board.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody else really knows. We're all just guessing. And I find that fascinating.
Well, I think
data is king, as you well know.
That's right. I think the demand that's in the market for now, especially with the tax season just right tax returns coming right around the corner, I think that for the transport industry, those who are driving will be able to take that to their advantage, build the case, and they'll get it.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Man, we're coming up on 8:30, and I love what's happening, and I appreciate that condensed presentation. Thank you very much for that, Paul. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, and we're going to bring in Bryanna. We have Bryanna and Tim, and then we're going to have everybody together in this log ride of automotive data. So stand by, Paul. In the waiting room, Paul goes. And here comes, up next is Bryanna Cox is going to be joining us. And after Bryanna, we're going to have Tim Scoutelas. He's going to be joining us. And also in the live chat, oh, you're right. Oh, I should have said Transformers. You're totally right. I should not have said Z0V1D $. Never do that. Don't tell Alexa. You can't talk out loud. We're all being monitored. And it's just the way it is. But now, speaking of that, put your tinfoil hats away, because it is now time. We have, joining us on center stage right now, we have Bryanna Cox of Asset Resolutions. Bryanna, can you see us okay?
I can. Hi, guys. How is everybody tonight?
Very good. All right, cool. Thank you so much. You can see me. You can hear me. I can see you. I can hear you. I caught a dog. Was there a dog in the background?
Yeah, my daughter's dog.
That's so great. All right, this is a family show. It's a pet-friendly show. And Bryanna, do me a favor. Say hello once again to the live audience, and then feel free to dive right in. The microphone is yours.
Hi, guys, and all of your listeners. I am Bryanna Cox. I own Asset Resolutions, which is a collateral recovery company in Houston. I am kind of embarrassed. I did not bring as much show and tell as my predecessors here on the show. But of course, I work in an industry that is so secretive. And of course, I don't have access. Paul and I have talked about this before, actually privately. I don't have access to, overall numbers and things like that in the recovery industry. So it's really difficult to tell you with as many markets, as many companies as there are in the country, overall recovery numbers, especially between global clients, local clients, prime clients, forwarders, that type of thing. It's really kind of almost impossible to nail down, these national recovery numbers. But as far as the theme of the show and something I'd like to see in 2022 that we saw some of in 2021, I'm right on board with Ty. It was so exciting to finally, towards the end of this year and the last quarter, get back to these trade shows, these events, these conferences, and, see everyone and connect with everyone and be able to interact and have conversations and, in person. So that is, I think networking is super, super important. That's how Jay and Ty and I met. That's how Paul and I met. So I think that, that is critical to all of our industry. And diving a little deeper into that, I think that seeing more of that connection in the future, because that's kind of what Jay and I have done, is bridge the gap between transporters and recovery companies, because we do kind of matter to each other at the end of the day. So if we can communicate together on our pain points and struggles, we can understand each other and educate each other a little bit more and come together. Something really big that was happening in the recovery industry that I can share is the associations have had immense growth. Of course, we have our two national associations, the main one being American Recovery Association. So if you go to their website, and that is something, that I'm a big link sharer. So, just go to the American Recovery Association website, and you can learn a lot more about the recovery industry. ARA actually partnered this year with the law firm Bassford Remley, and they've written some really interesting white papers on contractual obligations and things like that that are really educational. And then another big thing is ARA in partnership with Texas ARP and CalR and Harding Brooks, which is one of the biggest insurance companies in our space, probably insures 70-80% of the recovery space, formed what we call the Repo Alliance. And what the Repo Alliance did, and there's also a website, repoalliance.com. There is a website for that as well. And what that did is the recovery industry is the only unique collections industry that did not have a voice on the Hill. So we have crowdsourced about $280,000 this year to give our industry a voice on the Hill, because as you may know, especially the transport community may know, your numbers were extremely down when our numbers were extremely down through 2020 and through 2021. And so what the Repo Alliance does is we've hired a lobbyist to fight for us on Capitol Hill, so that we don't see these intense extended shutdowns through something like COVID in the future. And they also educated, a lot of the recovery agency owners on things like the EIDL loans and, and the PPP loans, so that we could keep our companies strong and keep our staff employed, so that we could come out of this strong. And once we see these numbers pick up, which we have seen, and Paul mentioned that, we've seen defaults kind of come up in the last month, and we've seen across the board our recovery numbers come up. So I think you guys will see, obviously, your transport numbers come up. And so we're really, really excited about the Repo Alliance. We think it's going to be good for our industry and for your industry. You can actually donate to the Repo Alliance right on the website. Every single penny goes to the lobbyists. Nobody involved in this organization is getting a penny for volunteering their time. And we're super, super passionate about it. And we've actually grown also from 2 state associations, which was the California State Association and the Texas Association, to we're going to have 15 operating state associations in 2022. So we're super excited about that.
Wow. Awesome information. See, you didn't even have any show and tell slides, and I knew it. That's one of the reasons I wanted you on the show, is that, I mean, now that we've seen you talk, and this trade show, when we talk about trade shows, I mean, it's no joke. And that is, I hadn't actually thought that. That's what I'd like to see more of in 2022. So it's neat that you guys all came up with an idea that, I mean, I didn't even think of that. Not that I think of everything, but I did not think of that. And it's so true. And actually, when you see some of the recent C0V1D # $news, do you worry that we're going to kind of go back into this trade show slumber a little bit?
I do worry about that somewhat, but I do kind of think that between our industries under our umbrella of this huge auto finance industry, I think everybody's sort of done with it. And I think that everybody is kind of under the impression, and I don't want to get political or, please don't take this as such, that kind of COVID is here to stay and we can't keep putting our lives on hold, for it. Not that it's not dangerous, and not that, everyone doesn't need to be careful and still sanitize and everything like that. But I don't think that we can put our lives and our businesses on hold any further, because we have to take care of our families and we have to take care of this economy. So I do think that we'll see some cancellations here and there, but I think for the most part, those ones that are already on the schedule for 2022 are going to take place, because it is a choice, right? So anybody who feels uncomfortable going doesn't have to go.
Well, and we saw, it's interesting because I saw some auto shows went by the wayside. I'm not going to weigh in on, what we need and what we don't need, because auto shows are important, which actually brings me to this, what's important and what we need. The more we learn about how deep the vertical of our various industries are, so like auto transport, somebody can be like, what, you load a car, you deliver a car, what's the deal, who cares? Yeah, right, okay, well, tell me that when you dump the $30,000 Genesis off the back of the flatbed because you didn't know exactly what you were doing. The thing is, there's just so much to it. So when you talk about the associations and being involved in government, because there's nothing we need more than to push back some of the negative regulations, like that driver that got 110-year prison sentence. Can you believe the governor came in and wiped off 100 years? Well, all right. And if everybody was silent, that wouldn't have happened.
Well, and that's a great example, because a lot of people held that company liable, right? They didn't have proper vetting. They didn't have proper training. So it's so important that we police ourselves too, and hold the companies that we network with, that we, are in the same space with, to the same standard that we hold ourselves. And that's a big thing we do in the repo industry, is we want to see people do things right and do things by the book. And that was a good example about the transporter too, because I've had a transporter at my lot that, was a one-off, and the guy was trying to load a Maserati on a trailer with 2x4s, and the 2x4 snapped and the bumper hit the back of the trailer, and that whole thing came off. And so,
you probably watched a YouTube video, said, I'm going to put the truck to work. Yeah, exactly. Holy cow, that's crazy.
And
you saw that?
People like that too. They think, a lot of people think when our economy is bad, our business is better. And as we can see by the last 2 years, that it isn't. And so a lot of people just tried to jump into our industry, and it really didn't work out for them, because there is so much compliance and regulation. And so we've kind of, with those state associations and amongst our network, have kind of started holding everyone accountable, and not just prosecuting them. We've really been trying to educate, like, okay, if you're going to be in this space, you can be better, you can be a good company. And the best place to do that is at these trade shows and conferences.
The amount of regulations the repossession industry goes through, and also your connectivity and education that you have about the lenders and the banks, it's way more than just, I can't get an appointment. right?
Mhm.
There's just so
Yeah.
much to it. I'll tell you what, you did a great job, as always. So do me a favor, stand by. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. I got one more one-on-one. It's a good thing more people couldn't make it tonight because we've got, I mean, it's already 8:40. That's crazy. All right, so here we go. We got Tim Scoutelas. He's coming in now. I'm going to hand the microphone to Tim Scoutelas. Put 10 minutes on the clock. No pressure. Let's see, get that. We have to get a drum roll for Tim Scoutelas, Max Digital, melting block of ice, hot dogs in lane 8.
Really? I get all that stuff?
Dude, yeah, that's a long title. You're gonna need new business cards.
I want the Ohio State marching band. Where are they at?
They're late, but they're coming in. So. Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm
What's
good,
going
Jay.
on? Take
Happy
it
New
away.
Year. Happy New Year
to you.
I'm awesome. I've been buried up here, high above a cul-de-sac in Wilmington, North Carolina, working. How about you?
Well, so I'm always in Kansas City, and literally, I mean, I would imagine most people don't think I live beyond this desk.
Oh, no, I've seen
Right.
you beyond the desk.
No,
like twice.
Beyond the desk. That's a show. Somebody get that. That's great. That's coming up.
Jay beyond the desk.
Jay beyond the desk. I love it.
Yeah.
Kimberly, you got that one? Write that down. So, all right. So, what do you want to see more of in 2022 that you saw in 2021? Used cars. What? Take it away.
So I feel terrible. I missed the show. Okay. I thought the show started at 8 Central, 9. I'm way behind. So if I'm
That's
saying stuff to
awesome.
somebody else, I caught someone with Paul saying, I caught it was Bryanna, right?
Bryanna Cox. Yes. Asset resolutions.
Bryanna,
Yeah.
my accent's terrible. I caught what
Uh-huh.
she was saying, but so I get a chance to share my screen.
Yeah. Please.
Okay. Well, let's see. It's this one over here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I definitely want to see more of in 2022. I want to see more of you, Jay.
Oh man.
Now, shameless plug, but really, what a great time we had at Used Car Week, right? I mean,
Awesome.
and I think that's what Bryanna was saying. We definitely need to see more shows. I don't want this to go backwards. I think we accomplished a lot in 2021 with coming out from what we did in 2020 and seeing everybody. And I think we've launched into a new world of sharing and truth and transparency. That's the buzzword where I come from. The second thing I want to see more, I got a couple slides. Is that all right? I'm not gonna get in
Yeah.
trouble?
Go. I love it.
Okay.
Take it away.
Second thing, definitely more hot dogs. Gotta have more hot dogs with that guy. Just one was not enough. And, this guy, I imagine those that are on the channel, listener, or do you call him viewer? Viewer.
I don't know.
Viewer, to know Ty is to love Ty. The guy is a wealth of knowledge. And I definitely think you need more of that guy too. So Happy New Year to Ty. I know he's probably in the green room chatting away or on, what's that one where they talk a lot?
He is. He's in the live chat right now.
The clubhouse.
He's in the clubhouse. That's right. The clubhouse. I know, right?
Yeah. So on a serious note, though, all right. I really see. So I took this a little differently. I really think 2022. There's definitely a war going on, and I'm going to relate it to what I do on the used car side. But as I was putting this together, I definitely thought of, viewer. Most of the viewers on your side are, transport guys, but this relates to you. There's certainly a war for the consumer going on, and the battle is starting, to inch closer, if it's not already there, to their driveway. I know Paul Machin talked about it already. I didn't even see hear what he talked about, but I know he mentioned it. And you've got to win. So what sorts of things are we talking about? Now, I've got a couple of numbers on the acquisition side when it comes to used cars. But I want you to relate this, viewer, to your business, right? So most franchise dealers today are getting, this is franchise dealers, right? The Ford guy, the Toyota guy, the Chevy guy are getting less than 5% of their inventory from the curb. Okay. The e-commerce guys are the CarMax, the Carvanas, the Rooms, and there's even new guys coming out for 2022 are sourcing 50% of their inventory from the curb. So if you're not in the used cars, like think about, we've talked about, you've got to go that extra mile. We are going to see more of that, I believe, in 2022. Now, the thing of it all here on the dealer side is dealers used to get 50% of their inventory, see trades with it. 50% of their deals consisted with a trade. Now that number is as low as 40%, and it could be even lower. Consumer now knows that they don't need to go to trade their vehicle in at the place that they want to buy their car from. The war for the consumer is here. The second thing I think we're going to see more of is I'm sorry. So what that means is that if you are doing things the old way, the legacy way, right? The way that the consumer expects you to do it, the way that you've always done it, you'll probably continue to get the results you've always gotten. What I would challenge you to do, and I'm sorry you can't see this, but I would look to use cutting edge practices, resources, do things differently in 2022, because if you want to win the consumer, I mean, I just think about it every day. People are going to have to try and sell cars to my 15-year-old son who won't get off the Snapchat, who doesn't leave the couch and a pizza shows up on the front porch. That's what it's going to be about going forward. Now, what do you got to do? I'm going to give you one thing: photos. I think 2022 is the year we are going to see some serious uptick in photos online for automotive. You've already seen it. Our guys at my buddies at ACV brought the new app. What's the name of the app is called? Help me out, Jay. The new transport app that they've got. No,
360? 360?
No. Oh, anyway,
True.
No. Well, they pick the car up and they take the photo, the transport. Listen, that's just the beginning.
Right. You mean neither of us know the answer? Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Great job, guys.
Yeah, we're going to give them credit on the backside, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, somebody just mentioned it, Black Widow. So companies like Black Widow are leading the charge here, where you're going to be able to just take a photo of a car. And on the automotive retail side, we're going to be able to, like in this picture here, see, like you've got the background has got looks like I don't know, some RV shop. We're going to be able to Photoshop in automatically a background for all your photos and make it look like the car's right there. Think of the ramifications here on the transport side. We're going to see photos where cameras where you can catch damage, where you're going to be able to improve light. So these are the things that you're going to have to do on the retail side for the used car dealer to win the customer over. Your average viewer, you're the guy who's here on the transport side, man, you're going to need to be doing things like that as well. So I can't wait for 2022. It is going to be an awesome year. It's already started out great. Jay, thank you for a great 2021. Let's bring it.
All right, cool. So I'm going to take the screen. And thank you, Tim. Really do appreciate the show and tell and the photos, the memories. It is neat. I mean, what's neat. So everybody's saying definitely more trade show, and I love that. I really love that. I also taking a note that War. I know you got Ty's attention. So here's what we're gonna do. Actually, before I do any more banter, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring everybody back. Everybody's coming back. We're gonna bring in Bryanna. We're gonna bring in Joe. We're gonna bring in Ty. We're gonna bring in Paul. Nobody got a warning. There was no warning at all. I just brought everybody back, and somebody's like, doing the windows. Somebody's like got a half-eaten burrito. There's sour cream everywhere. No, none of that's true. But here comes the panel. We're back, and yeah, let's definitely number one. First of all, I want to give everybody an applause for that individual mic moment. Thank you. It really is like mini. What do I say? Trade show presentations. That's what it is. And then here's everybody together, all in one. If you haven't had enough, I know it's getting late, but we started an hour earlier. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time.
Paul,
First
what's
show of the
happening?
year. What's going on?
Hey, Tim.
How you doing, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you,
Happy
sir.
New Year. Good to see you.
Bryanna, Joe, pleasure.
Man, guys, I'm gonna. I'm here. Look,
I didn't see you. Sorry about that. The view is a little different this time, Jay. There you go.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I kind of mix it around. I got to keep it,
Got it.
We got, just like your son gets the pizza on the porch and he's on Snapchat. I got to keep it moving.
Yeah, you do.
that was great information, Joe, Paul, Tim, Bryanna. Man, you guys are awesome. Seriously, good bunch. Appreciate you guys.
What's the conclusion on the name of the year in 2022? Has anyone got a consensus vote on? I'm getting tired of seeing your Hydra thing on the.
Yeah, I'm calling it the year of the narrative.
There's a very strong case to be made.
There's so many tempting choices.
There's a very strong case to be made that this is the year of the consumer, because the consumer is going to have a lot of power this year. Where they spend their dollars and where the supplier that is able to meet that incredible amount of demand and deal with those pressures is probably going to do okay in 2022.
Yeah, no doubt. There's plenty of buying power out there. Plenty of demand for goods and services. I feel like the consumer is waiting to be wowed again, for sure. They are certainly Web 2.0 is. I haven't followed. I used to be in that business, but are we at Web 3.0 yet? Where it's just omni-channel and I'm with you, Joe. It's the year of the consumer for sure.
Yeah. You got 5G being released, I think it's tomorrow, the 5th, nationally. So we'll see how that impacts all things related to the web and to the internet. You have Facebook, now Meta, with the metaverse. And I heard of several companies already trying to design the virtual dealership showroom. So in the metaverse, you can go buy your vehicle completely online, visit the showroom, virtual test drives, things like that. But that's all catering to the consumer. Most of my partners that are out there are focusing on how to improve the customer experience. I was listening to a presentation earlier, and the owner kept saying, there's a lot of opportunity and space still to perform at the highest levels for customer experience. So to Tim's point, and Joe, you're right. I believe it's going to be the year of the consumer.
And I think too, and I'm not really super involved in this, but one of the articles that I read in advance of this show, in fact, one of the 12 predictions that were made on that Newsweek article, talked a lot about how vehicle customization for new OEMs is going to become like a bigger ticket item. But what's really interesting about that is that because of the supply chain shortages, in particular semiconductors and those things, the number of options, the menu is going to get a lot smaller. So you'll have a lot more customization capability, but your menu of items that you can pick from is going to become a little bit more truncated. So how does that factor into things? That's going to be yet to be determined. Maybe the aftermarket is going to prosper, into secondary.
Joe, that's a great point. And I talked to a lot of guys on the franchise side, and the OEMs are certainly trying to bring the selling process closer to home, right? By taking it away from the franchise dealer and say, hey, you got to order the car. I think that plays into that perfectly. Hey, if you want the car you really want, the color combination and all the packages and equipment, you're going to have to order it from the factory, and you get to go through our experience. Now, I'm not sure how true that will be. Paul, you and I have talked about this in the past. I think when push comes to shove and the OEMs have the ability to produce the inventory to meet the demand, they are going to stuff the dealers' lots with cars like it's nobody's business. But I think until we get there might be that, hey, let's order it and see how we can kind of learn from that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I do. I've got an opinion. I don't know how true it is, but I do a lot of driving, and I always look at car lots. So for 2020, 2021 to today, I drive and I see the lots, especially the franchise lots, that new inventory, it starts going away, where to go, and then you don't see it coming back. So point being, there was a stretch of time, more than a couple months, where I'm driving past the same big dealerships, franchise, and their lots getting lower and lower. Well, probably the last 3 weeks, which is really weird. 35 up Shawnee area. You've got the Audi, you've got the Mercedes, the Infiniti, the Chrysler Dodge Jeep, CarMax across the street. I mean, there's just like tons. Acuras down there.
There's a Lexus and a Toyota store there.
Yeah, Lexus, Toyota. So I'm driving by and I'm looking at these. Yeah, well, Ty, you really should pay attention to the road. I know, but I can't.
Especially on I-35, Ty. That's not a great road to be lost in the inventory.
Yeah, I'm counting cars. All right, guys, leave me alone. I'm busy. And ask Jay. I'm probably not the safest driver. So really dangerous experience. But the point is that I drive like this Reed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, whatever they are, drive by their lot. They don't have any room for any more cars, new or used. I don't know how, really, and it's driving me crazy because I'm like, I observe, I watch. So just from this perspective of just looking, I'm kind of going with, I think what Tim just said, which is, I think once we kind of, this gets a little smoothed out, watch out for the stuff. And then, you listen to Joe, and Joe's like, 2022. Joe, you're really getting busy right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we've been busy. But I would also comment that Reed Reed dealership, since Midwestern assumed the Stellantis contract that as of the early part of the year, the reason why they have cars and nobody else does is because we're shipping them there. So just a plug from.
But that's what I was wondering, Joe. I thought, okay, wait, is this a new store and these cars that are on that lot now already allocated?
No.
Okay.
That lot has existed, and we've been and I think that so I joke a little bit, but there's a lot of truth in kind of what everyone here is saying, and that is that. But see, I think also, like what you're saying about how, if the manufacturers want to stuff 1 million cars in someone's lot, they can. Well, that's true. They can. But the same is true for if the manufacturers want to build an online retail experience. There is nobody that has the deep pockets to compete with that outside the new OEM world. I mean, these people have marketing campaigns that that can fund Super Bowl commercials. Believe me, if they want to make a web page look awesome, they're going to do it. So I think that when, I kind of agree that, the manufacturers, their history is that, we found something that works, we'll make 10 million facsimiles of it. But I think also, the reason that they do that, because it works and it sells a lot of cars, it moves a lot of metal, and it keeps a lot of us, kind of rolling along. So I don't know, I'm kind of on a sidestep to that comment there. But I think the point that I make is that, the consumer is going to have an awful lot of power going into this year, and the customers too. I mean, meaning the OEM shippers, and even, to some extent, the lease return process is also going to, somewhat reflect that. Here's a great question. How are lease returns going to look with that degree of personalization. Because if someone decides that they want to have a pink polka dot dashboard and they return that car, and someone goes, who the hell was thinking of a pink polka dot dashboard? Who's going to fix that? Well, somebody is, because they'll make $1 at it. And how is that going to react and interplay with other pieces of the infrastructure and auctions and all that other stuff? There's a lot that's going to change. Really?
I'm just listening and learning here, guys, because obviously I'm on the complete opposite side of most of you. And so I don't really care how the consumers get the cars. I just really hope that they do. And I hope they buy a hell of a ton of them in this next year, because I definitely have margins to make up and need to see my, my recoveries increase. But I do think it's interesting when you said that level of customization is going to be greater, but with less options, because won't those options be more expensive because of the lack of production in the last couple of years? So we're still going to see increases in those new vehicles. And I think that people who bought these used vehicles for such a high premium in the past year and a half are going to look at their finance rates. And now these lenders are offering insane terms. I mean, 70, 80, 90-month terms for these purchases, and they're going to dump those cars off for these newer, less expensive cars, even if they don't choose these customization options.
Yeah, but that's true. But I think that we've been saying for the last 5 years that the terms that are being offered in financing are getting more and more and more insane. So at some point, where do you cross that threshold where something's got to give? And it's very interesting. The industry as a whole, there's more money to be made in financing than there is in the actual sale of the raw material now. Right. So what does that do? I mean, from my vantage point, I'm on the same page with you. I don't care what color they are. I don't care how many pink polka dot dashboards you build. I'll ship them all. I'll ship any color you want. Some of the colors that I've seen, and who wants that? But someone does. So hey, great. But I'm on the same page with you. But it's the thing of it is that there's a second part of this infrastructure that also gets impacted. So. It is the car that was built, is the 2022 car that's being built now going to be the same car that's sold, in 2025, or will that degree of customization filter down to second and third owners? Could happen.
One of the challenges that we do have to this coming up year is the potential for 3 interest rate hikes. Yeah, that could put a limit on what's going to happen. But we don't know. Until the data gets to the point that the Fed says we can make these interest rate hikes, that trickle-down effect to the industry it's going to impact everything. But what we do know is consumers are okay today at paying the higher prices because they're paying them now. Dealers are willing to pay the higher prices at wholesale. They're also willing to pay more. They'll bitch about it, but they'll pay more for transportation. Everyone's being conditioned to pay more to get the service. They just want to pay more and get the quality service that they feel like they need to get.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen raises in a decade. So, but we're trying to educate our clients currently about our cost of operation versus our revenue. Actually, my colleague Jeremy Cross, I think you saw his presentation, Jay, at Used Car Week. He did an amazing case study with St. Joseph's University and really dived into the cost of everything that that adds up to operate a repossession company. Just the increases that we've seen in that cost in the last decade when we haven't seen increases in our recovery rate or fees. And it's insane. So that's kind of something that we're educating and pushing our clients on right now too. I mean, even on your guys' part, right? Because some repo companies do transport for certain clients. And so when we heard the fees that sometimes the transport companies are getting, we were like, what? Like, that is not okay. Like maybe you guys need to pay them more too.
Well, yeah. And we keep seeing, and I don't think it's a surprise anymore. You can make better money in freight than you can in car hauling. True?
Yeah, for now.
Like Travis said.
Yeah. For now. But I think, the biggest mistake in all of trucking is the assumption that the status quo is going to be the status forever. And I think that, yeah, that's probably true now, and car haul is kind of catching up to the rest of freight, but it will. And, this is the other thing too. You can't rule out other solutions. At some point, there's going to be a relief to how freight is handled, and that is going to drive prices back down. But there's been a constant amount of downward pressure on car shipping prices now. I mean, since I've been doing this in 20 something years. So, do I see that going away? No. Do I see us having, as an industry, having a little bit more leverage and power? Yes, I think so. But is it going to match the rate of cost increase? Not at first, because there's going to be that extinction burst where someone, their eyes pop out of their head and they say, I can pay that, and, all that. And until the unfortunately, until someone is willing to say, well, this is the bottom dollar and I'll go no lower, until everyone in the industry decides that that's going to happen.
I think we're going to need a lot more TikTok videos of cars being dumped in parking lots for us to get there. And on that, how about that Tesla guy in Europe that blew up his Tesla because he didn't want to pay? Everybody knows this story, or some version of it. Somebody please retell it better than I did.
You haven't heard it, Paul?
Paul hasn't heard it. Great. Tim, take it away. Tell Paul what's going on.
No, the guy had I don't even know. No, all I saw was the video because my kids are on the TikTok. And the guy, it was a $28,000 bill to fix the, had to do with the driving?
No, it was the battery.
The batteries. The batteries had gone bad. That's right. So to replace some batteries, 20 grand. So he just blew it up and he's got 6-7 million views.
Yeah. I call that the Harry Stokes inequity converter kit. Back in the early 90s, one of my used car managers, he actually told me a story where he had too much negative equity in a vehicle. And so he kind of rigged it up to where they would end up blowing up on him after driving it so he can get insurance settlement.
Yeah, the gap.
Ty, did you get that? Wait, what was it? Harry Stokes negative equities starter kit?
Starter kit.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
We've seen consumers do some pretty horrible things.
No doubt. People who are hooked. It'll be interesting to see, you guys are, what the equity positions will be like. I don't know. I think the manufacturers, they're just going to play the same games. They'll raise the prices of the new cars and throw out the terms, and people are already conditioned to be paying higher. I don't know.
How about that? When the shipper says they don't want to pay that, say, okay, I'll tell you what's your TikTok handle? Let me send you some TikToks.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you that I've had the same I don't want to use the term bad luck. We've raised rates, we've collected more fees. I don't know. I'd like to hear more about that and challenge you guys, but it sounds like every time I get on here, transporters are complaining about your rates being so low. So I don't know.
I think it's a matter of education.
Yeah. And as recovery agents, so go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
Go ahead.
As recovery agents, we had to get creative. And because we were kind of doing so many things, like even just like crash wrap on a broken window, just like a debtor took their lug nuts off the tires, replacing those. Those are things that we kind of just used to assume that we would just do in the course of recovery. Good. But now we had to get creative and think out of the box. And now we're, putting in fee requests to the clients every single time we have a situation like that. Good. And kind of had to, to raise our overall recovery rate for each unit.
Yeah. And even it seems like more and more businesses go ahead and try to get a handful of creamers at McDonald's now. Boy, I sound like I know firsthand, right? But I mean, that's the thing. We're all there now. Go ahead and ask for an extra ketchup. See what you get. You're going to get one ketchup.
Right.
Well, in the OEM world, your rates are usually set up on a contract cycle that can be anywhere between 24 and 60 months. And sometimes, you can build in economics increases, sometimes not. It just depends on your negotiation. But once you've signed the contract, that's pretty much the contract. Now, what happens if, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I don't know because I haven't had any experience in this particular area, but let's just say, for example, right after you sign a contract, there is a nationwide pandemic that essentially shuts down the economy. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm just saying, what happens to all those contract rates that you just negotiated? Well, they're bupkis. They're barely worth the paper you're on, because you've built your entire business structure around a certain degree of income. And by the way, we talked about financing before. What happens with the interest rates? Well, each car carrier new is $350,000 a copy. Okay. And that, by the way, is a rate increase from last year that was passed on to us by the car carrier companies, which is a rate increase from the year before that, before there was a pandemic, which, by the way, was a rate increase from the year before that. I could go on, but I will not. So I'm sure you get my point. So right. You've structured your internals based upon a certain amount of fixed costs and some degree of variable costs that you'll be able to recover in the form of that amount of revenue. Well, if you're in a 36-month contract, then what do you do? Now, I'm not saying this because I've seen this before. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, what happens if that pandemic drives the cost of healthcare way up on the single most important asset that you have, that being your employees? Again, I wouldn't know anything about this. I'm just saying. So in the event that takes place, now all of a sudden your compensation package is upside down. Why? Because there's some other carrier or some other company named after a river that is offering absurd sign-on bonuses and healthcare on day one. Now what do? You literally are incapable of competing because they have the girth to be able to pull off that kind of expenditure. And it is a very, very, very difficult tightrope to be able to walk. I'm very proud of the way that we've managed the last 2 years at Midwestern, because we literally paid drivers to sit because we did not want to lose those people. Those people, right. Trade was critical to us being able to do our business. And if you talk to most of the drivers that went through that, they'll tell you, yeah, you know something, I managed to somehow or another go through the worst downturn in my recent memory and still made a pretty decent wage out of it. But that said, not every company has the wherewithal to do that. And would I tell you that those were profitable times for us? Absolutely, they were not. And remember that contract that I talked about that has terms that go from 24 to 36 to sometimes 60 months? You think those rates are catching up to those times? It leads you to a very, very awkward position with your customer. And, you really are playing poker at that point about how it is that you're going to manage, those relationships and, what that economic picture looks like. So this is a concept that, is as deep as the deepest well you can imagine. But there's a lot that goes in. And I think, to your point, you mentioned the downward pressure on the ability to rate increase. And my comment or my retort about the downward pricing pressure is that as long as there is someone out there that's willing to dive down and make what I know to be a bad decision, then you have a pretty substantial amount of risk at play. And that becomes a very, very difficult decision to make when you have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of rolling stock that you're making payments on no matter what. So it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig.
Are you seeing an increase in 1, 2, and 3 car transports?
Yes and no. I would say I think the industry hasn't caught up to that yet, Paul, but I think that there will be. Load density is such that you can fill an 80-foot Stinger steer carrier pretty easily if you know what you're doing. At some point, when capacity starts to normalize with that, I think that will probably change, and you'll start seeing people go towards some lower cost solutions and lower cost equipment and things like that. But for right now, I would say no, not right now. But another thing too is that we're kind of in this real funky spot where I don't want to say you have price control. I don't think I would go and go quite that far. But there's so much traffic available right now, you can kind of pick, the lanes that you want to run. And so that has helped. And, for us, it's helped a lot because the lanes that we want to run are the lanes that we're already in.
Well, I asked because, our former, Tim and I are alma maters of CarMax, and they're in Q3, they did 383 buys. They supplemented their inventory directly from the consumer. 190 of them, give or take, were all virtual. And they talk about how they plan to increase that this year. So I went back and took a look at what Vroom and Carvana have done, and they have the same type of a 3x increase quarter by quarter by quarter directly from the consumer. And it got me thinking that who are they contracting with? Who are they calling to pick up that inventory? And if they're taking it to the auction, who are they using to put the loads together to go to the auction?
They're contracting me because I'm hauling a lot of CarMax right now. And there are quite a few other companies that are actually far bigger than we are. We targeted specific lanes that make sense to our business so we could offer the best value. But no, they're using a multitude. The entire brokerage market right now is really servicing CarMax and Carvana and all of those kinds of, I'll call them big box used car retailers. It's kind of what they are. And that's their model, is to use their girth to be able to drive down costs. And now I know I don't want to speak too much out of turn because I don't know enough about whether they're using internal assets or how that factors into it, but it does figure somewhere. So in other words, probably their internal assets are servicing a certain known amount, and then after that they just the other 50% or whatever percentage it is they put out on the spot market for basically the rest of the industry to haul.
And then when it goes out on the spot market, it can be taken back and given to an internal asset.
Yeah, it can go either way, but it requires an awful lot of coordination. And this is the other thing too, is you can only do that for if you do that where you push out a load and then snatch it back and push out a load and you do that enough, start to lose friends. So yeah, that's I haven't seen a lot of that. I mean, there've been honest mistakes for sure.
You hear about it more than you think, though. But yeah, they're probably just honest mistakes.
Yeah. Well, listen, you got to remember, when you're moving that many cars, a 1% failure rate is still, hundreds and hundreds.
It's like a TikTok of dropping it. Okay. But that's the thing is, yeah, exactly. Not to get caught up in the semantics and the whatnot. Speaking of semantics and whatnot, you know what time it is. You know what we got to do? Before I forget, I've got my sticky right here. I'm going to use this. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do... All right, we're all in this together. We're at the carnival. We've gotten into the log ride. They still have log rides? Anybody still have log rides? Well, let's just... Yeah.
Not at KCK, they don't. I think they got sued for that.
Right? Great, Jay. All right, well... Whatever. In the 80s, there were log rides. Well, we're going to take an 80s log ride now together, live on Auto Transport Intel. And there's two photographers. After the first hill, there's a photographer. And then after the second hill, there's another photographer. Each time we go over a hill, there's an applause. And remember, this one's for the kids. This is for the family. That's what Ty's got it. All right, so here we go. Here comes the first photographer on the ATI live show log ride. Hey. All right.
Oh, we missed it again?
Oh, no. Here comes the second photographer. This is the big one. You're going to
there's
get
a second
wet.
one?
Here we go. Okay, it's up. Oh! Okay. So much fun.
Good time. Good
we
time.
Can do that. We can do that at the trade show.
Should I share that?
Yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That's pretty good.
That was straight out of the chat right there. I thought it was brilliant. Someone's the most interesting guy in the world.
That was deep. We were in some deep business right there, boys. That was good stuff.
Do you remember? Because do you know where that was and what you were doing? What is that?
I was talking to you, and I believe we were in, I want to go Vegas. And I want to think that might have been Caesars. And I think it might have even been Carr, but I could be wrong. But I definitely know I was talking to you.
Yeah. All you need, Ty,
Looks
is
like
a
you were
red
giving
velvet,
me a. What'd you say,
red
just
Paul?
velvet
said
cigar
Paul.
jacket.
Yeah.
Right?
Cigar, yeah, I need that.
Cigar
Jay says he's going to
bourbon.
get me one.
I don't have a cigar jacket. I want one of
No.
those.
It's cool. But I'm just telling you, there's another good show. In the information here, I know I always talk about these things like the wrap-up guy, but really a lot of incredible information that I don't know that you find this really anywhere. And I really, especially like okay, Tim's doing this every day. Paul's doing this every day. Joe's doing this every day. Bryanna's doing this every day. These guys are giving us their not at work time to educate us on what they really see and what they really hear. And there's a lot of, and I don't know if you guys see it like I do, but I was watching Paul listen to Joe and seeing that
That's
kind of
what
that
I
back
was
and
just
forth.
watching. I know. Wasn't that gold?
That was gold.
That was
Yeah.
gold.
I'm like, whoa.
Paul's
Like-
going to use it in his video next week. Don't worry, he's going to quote Joe.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
But
I think
but
Paul's
these,
so involved in everything. I mean, him and I have had
gosh.
so many like private talks, just from everything from like the CFPB to like, you know, what you guys do. So you got your fingers in everything.
yeah.
I try to keep abreast of the industry as a whole.
And you see Black Book all the time. You guys are partnering, and I mean, you're in the
Thank you.
Matrix.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Black Book. Nobody's going to use Jay's plug for Black Book is in the Matrix. That's a line down. I gotta try. We're live, you know. But it's the connectivity. All right. This is a hot dogs in lane 8 moment brought to you by Cars on the Move.
There we go.
See how I changed
Thank
the
you,
name
everybody.
of the sponsor. Listen, I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time. Hey, by the way, question: how did this 1 hour slot? Is this working a little better? Is everybody? Because it's not late for anybody, is it? Is
No,
anybody?
it's good. I wish I was more on top of it. I love it. Great.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Thank you, Jay, for doing that. I know that was a big deal for you, but
You know,
thank
it
you.
was.
I know,
honestly.
I know. It was a big
And
deal.
I've
You
got
guys don't know
reminders
how big a
everywhere.
deal that was.
Yeah, at hot yoga, it's got to go earlier now for hot yoga, huh?
For hot yoga, exactly. Oh, totally messed up hot yoga.
Well, I think
boy.
I learned more on this show than I participated, but I always appreciate you guys, for educating me on your side because, it helps me help you when you have to come to my lots.
You've taught us a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
definitely. If you guys haven't connected with me on LinkedIn, I'm always open to, any kind of conversation where we can help each other learn more.
Yeah, and that goes for if you listen out there in TV land. If you're looking for contact info for anybody here or, website or information, if you heard something, let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. It's right there in the live chat. Everybody, thank you so much. We had Joe at the top of the hour, and then we added Paul, and then we added Bryanna, and then we added Tim, and Ty is always here. I just want to thank you all so much again for taking the time tonight.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks for
Namaste.
having us on the first show of the year, man. What fun.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
good way to
thank you.
kick it off.
Yeah,
Good job.
This was a heck of a show. Thank you guys
Thanks,
so
guys.
much. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
And bye. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much, guys. That was awesome. That was an amazing show, and I'll end the party right there. But, the good news is we're here every Tuesday night. Usually with the 2-hour show, we went late. Yeah, exactly. That Silverman's got it. Now I can go an hour longer. So heat up those burritos. There it is, food again. Interesting stuff in the live chat. Amazing conversation in the Zoom room, and I appreciate it. Doesn't seem like anybody skipped a beat on the 1 hour thing, so that's great. We're going to stick with that. 7 p.m. Central Time is the new start time of Auto Transport Intel, Tuesday nights live. Everything else will stay the same. And yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Joe Bercari, Paul Machin, Bryanna Cox, Tim Scoutelas, Ty Thompson. Also in the super chat, thank you so much. Super Dispatch and Mark Rodicke, Ty, John Cochran, Michael G, Candy at Seaport Service, Chris Chamberlain. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. And if you just, when you say hello and I see your smiling face waving at camera, thank you so much for doing that, for saying hello and asking questions and sharing information and being part of the community. It's really, really neat. And we do hope that you can make it to a trade show. If you see down the line, hey, maybe I can make it to that trade show based on where it is or when it is, let us know. Reach out to us. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Let us know, hey man, if you got a question or whatever it is. We want to see you at the trade shows, and we love seeing you in the live chat, and love seeing you in the comments below. Please leave a like, share the show, ask a question, share some information. Let's see, tomorrow we got DOT compliance, always. And Brian Riker, he launched a new podcast. So we're going to be talking about that more, but it's DOT compliance, it's regulations, etc. There, man, I don't know what is, the load boards and the CRMs have gone crazy, so there's so much happening now on Dispatching Live. And then, of course, connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers on Fridays on Cars on the Move. And we're going to have more special guests on that show. So things are looking good. Really excited. So much happening. Keep me posted. Let me know if there's something I need to know, if we need to set up a Zoom meeting to talk more about something. I'm your host. I'm Jay. This is Auto Transport Intel. It's the car shipping business channel. We're rocking it. So join us on this rocking journey and let us know how we can help. As I told somebody, I was on a phone call, brief phone call today. And tell me again, what's auto transport? Oh my gosh, it is this gigantic billion-dollar industry, and it's so big. And as you learn more about all of the different folks within all of the verticals within this giant ecosystem, there's so much to know, and there's also so much to share, whether it's a software or a company or a lane or the mechanics of pricing. Let us know how we can help. Thank you guys so much. Here comes the car hauler. Now I'm checking audio again. It's the end of the show. I'm checking audio. Thanks a lot, Jay. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.